capital, I'm told. So he had a long ride coming through Dupont End. So yes, of course, I'd like to welcome the senator now in studio. He's from Lofa County. Good morning, Honorable Senator. How you doing?
Good morning, Mervyn Stewart. Good morning to the people of EABZ. Good morning to the people of Lofa. And good morning to the people of Liberia. Thank you so much for the invite, Mervyn. It's a and a great pleasure being here with you this morning on your breakfast show.
Good. You appear like a tough legislative material.
Well, that's what I signed for. That's what the Liverpool asked me to do. And so I have to walk the walk and talk the talk.
That's good. Okay. Well, Senator, how is the Capitol building? How is the legislature?
Well, maybe honestly, it is an environment that is charged. It's an environment that is a learning curve. It's an environment of knowledge. I'm having a wonderful time learning from being an entrepreneur to a legislator. So I've been learning over the period of months I've been there, but it's wonderful. It's not all rosy, it's not all perfect, but to a larger extent, it's a wonderful place to be, to make laws and talk on behalf of your people.
Barely 3 or going to 4 months now to the legislature. What difference you see in the legislature outside of or comparing it to the private life you live?
Well, with the legislature, you are in the public space, so you have so much demands. You have people knocking your doors. You have the expectations are so high from your constituents, your county, your friends. Unlike the private sector, you decide what you want to do. Not much pressure. You focus on your business. You have your business plan. You do your SWOT analysis, and that's not much pressure. But again, in what we're doing now is a public space. But again, it's a good thing to work for your people and be able to solve your people's problem. And that's why we contested, because we knew that our people needed some attention. And now we have the platform. So we're not angry that we're not disappointed of the pressure. We anticipated it, but we manage it.
Do you care to tell us about some of your involvement so far in the legislature? What are you involved with there? I understand you are the chair on national defense, and because you come from a security background.
Yes, my colleagues and the pro tem, let me appreciate this time for giving us the opportunity to serve on that committee. Yes, we have a security background. That is what we know of 34 years now in security, around the security sector, both in government and private. And so, yes, I am the chair of National Security, Defense, Intelligence, and Veteran Affairs at the Liberian Senate. And I have been doing my work diligently, by the protest instructions, and then with my own oversight. I'm happy that I'm chairing that committee, and we are chairing that committee with 14 other persons. That committee is one of the biggest committee in the House of Senate. In the Liberian Senate. That committee has got every county represented on that committee, just like Ways, Means, and Finance. These are two institutes. These are two committees that have had county representations. Other committees have got selected counties, but the Committee on Defense, Intelligence, Security, and Veteran Affairs has got 50 members, me chairing it. So it is a big committee with a lot of responsibility.
Your predecessor was the chair on the same committee from Lofa, Steve Zygo. Going to the legislature, you haven't even spent 1 year. You're taking on this kind of huge tax. What does it mean for you, Senator Cyrus?
Well, maybe the truth of the matter is I'm a result-oriented person, and I dream big, right, in everything I try to do. So taking charge of this institution or this committee, it's challenging, honestly, but the fact that I have the passion and with the leadership that we have at the Senate on our dynamic pro tem, we have been motivated to work and to serve the Liberian people.
Do you see your work in the legislature as a break of a kneel down for the people of Lofa County?
Sure.
How does that work?
Sure. So, we appreciate all of our people who have served the county. No disrespect to them. They have done extremely well to get the county where it is. But we have come with a different dispensation, different way of managing the county. Like I've always said to the people of Lofa, even during my campaign, I'm not going to the legislature as a politician. I'm going to the legislature as a leader. And as a leader, the people's interest is number one. It's not my interest. It is about the people. How can we transform Lofa? How can we collectively maintain the peace, reconciliation, sports, education, women empowerment, the health sector, the roads, the agriculture? How do we improve this? Many years back, Liberia, Lofa used to be the breadbasket of Liberia. Now that has slipped out of our hands. How do we regain that? It has to be a collective work. How do we look at our hospitals? How do we look at the health sector? How do we look at the roads? The road is terrible. But some interventions has been made, and so things will be better with the roads. And so we're looking at Lofa holistically. What can we do differently? That will seed a new life, a new dispensation, and a new day in Lofa.
What kind of difference you want to bring forth to the people of Lofa?
Well, inclusiveness. We want everybody to be inclusive.
Has that not been the case before?
Well, the way I look at it, no, it hasn't been that way. Like I said, my predecessors have been doing very well, but I'm coming in as a leader where I go back and have a serious consultative meetings with my people. Even if I have to make a major decision at the level of the Senate, I go back home. Recently, I went back home. I had a summer class of about 2 hours, and to listen to the people, to appraise me, what I've been doing, what I'm not doing, tell me what I should be doing. So let the people they are my employer. They employ me. So I have to go back for, an assessment of my work to know whether I'm doing better or I need to do more, or where we're doing more, where we're supposed to be doing more. Or, these are things I've gone back to do. And people have said that this is not the case in Lofa. The last time I was in Lofa a few months ago, I donated my annual salary to the people of Lofa. When I went to the legislature, my first day in the legislature, when I had the opportunity to take the stand, I said to the people of Liberia, Lofa, in the Senate, that I did not go to the Senate for the money. I appreciate what is given to us as salaries and incidentals and allowances and benefits. I truly appreciate it, but that's not what I went to the Senate for. I went to the Senate to see a transformation in Lofa. So against that background, when I went to Lofa, as a senator, I said, look, I've seen a lot of issues here that would need to be addressed. Government will not be able to address all of the issues. From a 1 year salary, I would donate it, and that is closely up to $100,000, right? So we have set up committees. In fact, $21,000 has been disbursed in advance to start to affect communities that projects will be earmarked. We'll talk about Konya, we'll talk about Bangadu, and other places. Now projects are ongoing. We'll talk about Pasama. So projects are presently ongoing.
How are the projects being identified?
Okay, the projects have been identified by the community. So it's a two-way street. We go as a team, go to the community. We ask the community, what is the need? What is the community need? The most need. Community has got so many needs, but what is the most pressing need, right? And they identify it, and we say, look, this is a joint project. We would, if you want to, for example, a structure like maybe a town hall, maybe you want a town hall, for instance. We say, look, okay, we will provide you the cement, we'll provide you the steel rods and all of these materials that come imported, but you have to bring the local materials. Your people got to be involved. 7 members of the community for which we have implemented a project got to get involved, with 11 members of my team. So it's a complete project implementation team that is about 18 persons monitoring every project. From ground level to purchase, identification, everything. So it's been going very well. The first phase of our project is going very well. We've been getting a very good report. So those are things we want to do. Lofa is so huge. Lofa is one county that is diversified. It's one of the biggest county in Liberia. But with our leadership skills and negotiating skills and the way we want to manage, we bring everybody together, irrespective of tribe, irrespective of religion, irrespective of regions or political affiliation. We want to make Lofa one Lofa, and that's why you saw in my campaign, my motto is one Lofa. And I mean it, one Lofa, and that's why I ran as an independent candidate. I stand on no side. I'm an independent candidate, and I preach for Lofa County, and I fight for Lofa County, irrespective of who is involved.
What are your presumption, or what are your vision? What are some of those things that you envision for the people of Lofa, both infrastructure wise, human resource capacity, and just what you think you need to do that will benefit the masses?
Well, Lofa is going to transform to a larger state. The role is being a priority. As a senator of Lofa County, member on the Public Works Committee, I've been pushing the Public Works to the government to look at that role, to prioritize. Look, I just said that Lofa County was the breadbasket. And the reason why, not because Lofa County are lazy or not that they don't have the passion to produce, but the road is terrible. Somebody produced their cucumbers, produced their watermelon. They cannot take it to Monrovia because it will get damaged on the road. So road infrastructure, even community roads are very key. So we pushing government, we'll put the government feet to fire. Trust me on that. Good thing the president of the Republic of Liberia is an agriculturalist. And he understands what road means to agriculture. That's why he got his arrest agenda. So we are blessed to have a president who thinks agriculture and who thinks road and have got it in his agenda as arrest. So we will preach and put the government to fire. That road to Vonjama to Mandikoma, all through to Vahu, under the 6 year of Joseph Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, those roads will be accessible and paved.
Are those roads badly in? Are they in bad condition?
To a larger extent, yes, the road to Lofa
So,
is in bad
they
condition.
are not pliable so easily.
No, they are not pliable easily as we speak, but there will be some intervention.
So how then do you go there to visit your people as a senator?
No. I mean,
do you ride chopper?
No, I ride on the road. I ride with my car. I feed the things, and that's why road infrastructure is very key on our agenda because we feel the pinch. I'm on the road every other time. I mean, every time I went on the road, I came back, I have to send my car to the garage. I spent over $700 to $800, $1,000 just for repair. You imagine, look at the common people. I mean, the ordinary people, the transport people, they are suffering largely. So our people are suffering. Even to take goods to Lofa, it's so expensive. A goods that is cost, for example, a commodity that is cost $200 here is almost $500 in Vonjama. The reason or beyond is $700 in Foya. It's probably $800 in Vahu because of Bar Road. Our people are suffering. The purchasing power of people has reduced because of the road. So the road is key, very key to our agenda in the Senate as Senator of Lofa County.
What's about health?
Health is also on our agenda. Look, the health centers are challenged
in Lofa.
Look, I've seen stories, I've heard stories, and it makes me sad.
Current hospital used to be one of the best hospitals in Liberia. What's happening?
A few days ago, I was just with the Minister of Health talking on behalf of the current hospital. They have been having some very challenging issue, in as much as it's a private institution, but it has been very helpful, and government needs to support them. But the budget did address some support for the current hospital, and we will talk about it. But most of the clinics and hospital in Lofa wasn't captured under the budget. We will be meeting with the committee on health, both in the lower house and upper house, to ensure that some fundings are put in. I had a meeting with the.
Is it because the lawmakers of Lofa were not far-sighted in arguing the matter?
No, the budget has not passed, just draft budget. Now the representatives of Lofa are now looking at the budgets and proposing some increment in the health budget. Because yesterday I had an opportunity to have Augustine Chiro, who happened to be the representative for District Number 5, and he was very concerned about some clinics and hospitals in his district. The Salai Clinic, who has got nothing in the budget, we will have to factor some money in the budget for Salai. The Zolo, because these places, cater to our people. You can have a budget and you can't budget for Salai. You can have a budget, you can't budget for Zulu. Then you have Konya, which is one of the biggest health center in that region, and you get $20,000 US dollars. It's not practical. We will advocate for these health centers to have increment in the budget.
Well, what's the increment you think you are pushing as a senator?
Well, we have to have that as a committee, and we have to look at their needs. We'll talk to the administrators there, to all of the clinics that we think was not factor properly in the budget.
Mm.
We have to have a meeting with them, and because we got to be practical. This is government's money, it's budget. We don't want to overburden the budget, so we want to be very practical and realistic with our, proposal to government. So we have to we have to sit with us, and we look at the challenges, look at the needs, and we'll be able to then advance, for them on behalf of the various clinics and hospital, what should be factored in the budget for them.
How cooperative are you, members of the Lofa Legislative Caucus?
It's one of the best caucus, one of the most united caucus. In every situation, in every organization, there will be some disagreement and agreement. But what we have resolved to do is always make sure that we resolve our differences amicably. There will be no time where we go to the public. There will be no time where we would fight. There will be no time where we would agitate to the extent that beyond our meetings as caucus members. So the caucus has agreed to be one of the best and united caucus at the 55th legislature, in both lower and upper house.
Let's talk about education before we dive to this. Before we make a return to the national legislature itself. How is the education sector in Lofa?
It's better, but we got to make it better.
Is the community college or the Lofa University in full swing?
Yes, it's in full swing, but we're looking at
up to tax.
Yes, it's in up to tax, but we're looking at a very brand new leadership at that university. We have to bring that university up to standard like other universities. The folks there are doing very well, but we will have to sit with them again. That's one of the places that have very vast interest in the university, the Lofa University, because if Lofians needs to play an important part in our national development, the university, the Lofa University has to be key. It has to be transformed, it has to be supported, and it has to be monitored in a way that it represents Lofa. Because Lofa has been everywhere, every sector, even today, the Lofians are doing very well in every sectors that across government and private sectors in this country. And that comes from our educational background. That's come from those schools we went to in Von German, the commitment of those school administrators. So we have to continue those legacies, right? So the Lofa University is a spotlight for me as a senator. That university has to be transformed in terms of structuring it, in terms of the administering it, in terms of people we put there, with the visions and aspirations to move the university to a higher level.
When you meet the young people in Lofa County, what obviously do they tell you?
They see me as their hope. I mean, relatively young, and they know that I'm a youth-driven person, and so they see me as somebody who will be their light, who will make sure that their life will be transformed, who will make sure that they participate in national events, they will participate in other local events like sports, spelling bee, video contest, basketball tournaments. And they look at that, and that is something I want to do for the youth. I want the youth to look at NIMBA. I would like to make reference to NIMBA all of the time. I take my inspiration from NIMBA. If you want to NIMBA, you see youth involvement. You see the kids get involved with football. As you will, we have got our first ever second division team in Lofa, that for which I'm the president CEO for the Rogizi. They are in the second division league. It's the first time. And we want to see in the next few years, we want to see more teams in Lofa like NIMBA, right? And all these things are on my mind. But it's got to be a collective working. We have to work together. We all have to have the same mindset. And the way to do this is through peace and reconciliation, and looking at Lofa as our common denominator, all of us, irrespective of our political background or tribal background.
Senator Momo Cyrus, the county meeting is expected to kick off 14th April. Where does Lofa stand?
This is a huge and good question. We've been having some serious consultative meetings behind the scene. I'm the chairperson emeritus, right? I'm a senator, but still remain the chairperson. In the next few years, maybe next year, we'll start to restructure the steering committee. We've been taking the back steps and giving some other people the opportunity to steer the affairs of the steering committee. But at this point in time, I still remain the chairperson, considering my elections and the time of the steering of the county meet, so I still remain chair. But we've been having a lot of meetings behind the scene. We have restructured the technical department in both kickball, football, and we have given them an ultimatum. We need to win the cup this year. You know what, Melvin?
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, Lofa turned 60 this year. Lofa will be 60 year this year. And in our celebration as a county, the celebration of the county meat cups, I'm not saying cup, I said cups, will be part of our celebration.
You think so? Where are you getting your enthusiasm from?
Well, I mean, as your colleague Marcus Weir,
Mhm.
they call me the talking to chairman. When I say, I do it. In this very studio, I told them that I was going to capture cups in Lofa, and I've done that.
And you also say you were going to be a senator.
I said,
Though you contested the first time and you
But my
you were
friend-
defeated and you still make a return.
well, it was a learning curve for me the first time. And a lot of people went to the elections 3-4 times before they won. I won the first time, Kim Tur. The second time, I got that kind of number, and that's why I will not stop doing what I will do for Lofa, because what Lofa did for me as a candidate and now a senator was unprecedented, Navy. For me to attain over 37,000 or 38,000 votes in Lofa, and without talking one person, I never took one person from anywhere to go and vote for me. No trucking, because I said to the people of my Lofa, and I said to myself, if the people have to elect me, if I'm truly a good leader, let the people of Lofa County elect me.
Are you the political messiah of Lofa County now?
I don't know.
Or you the face of Lofa in the legislature?
I don't know. The people of Lofa will decide. But I have a senior senator who is also doing very well in his own capacity as senior senator for Lofa, which is Councilor Joseph Bato Jara. He's been there. So the people of Lofa will decide. But he's my senior. He's my senior senator, and I respect him. And we have had a very good relationship. We have consulted each other at the Senate, and every decision that came from the Senate was the result of our consultation.
So how much have you pumped into the county team ahead of the county meeting this month?
Well, we have a budget of over $150,000. That budget is going around to stakeholders now. But as we speak, we have spent up. The preparation stage has almost received $10,000
From you?
I don't want to say from me, but they have received $10,000 for preparations towards the county meeting.
Good, Senator. And finally, from Lofa, how is the relationship between the legislative caucus and that of the local leadership?
Yes, it's going to be okay. It's not as okay as it is because some of the legislatures are concerned about the county nominations. They feel they were not consulted, but that is being handled. Lofa is a county that believes in traditions, believe in eldership. So we are discussing that behind the scene, but it's not an issue, but it's just a matter of rectifying some of the misstep that went on. But all being said, we'll resolve it behind the scene, and Lofa will get her leadership soon.
That is what somebody said on your page, that you are the representation of the 6 tribes in Lofa.
That's what somebody said, and I believe it because, like I said, I went to the elections as an independent candidate, and I take no tribe as superior. I take no religion superior. I take no party superior. Lofa remains Lofa, and it's one Lofa.
Are you the chair for the caucus?
No, I'm not a chair. I'm an advisor. Councilor Joseph Bato Jara is the chair of the caucus.
Good. Okay. So, Senator Saros, quite recently, you stressed an important point, talking about the security measures, new security measures that you as a chair on national defense is thinking about. What are those measures, and how are they important for our country's governance?
Well, firstly, I've been engaging the executives on the issue of the budget. There's a need to relook at the security budget. We're glad that today the President of the Republic of Liberia can increase the budget on agriculture, budget on education, and budget on agriculture. Laudable. Those are very key sector of national development. But when it comes to security, all of those sectors will not function if we don't have security in place. Security is number one. Henceforth, I've requested that we relook at the security budget.
What's the current, the proposed or the projected amount?
Well, I wouldn't want to say it on the radio.
Okay.
It's a public document, but I can't say it off here. Well, it is, the security is one of the largest sectors. We have different security apparatus, the police, the DEA, the LIS, immigration, I'm not saying the FIU, fire service, defense. I mean, it's the biggest sector so far when it comes to the budget analysis. Is huge with different institutions. Even the readiness to the police academy need to be taken care of. I mean, it's deplorable. Like I was telling my colleagues in the Senate that there's a need to relook and put enough money in the budget for the police academy. You can't have an academy. You can't be anticipating a better police force if they are not properly trained. And if you have to train the police force, you have to look at the academy. The academy needs to be a microscope. We need to look at academy. We need to support the academy to have the requisite,
Infrastructure.
infrastructures and materials and teaching staff to make sure that our police officers are trained, because the police officers are aging, right? Officers are aging, and we need to bring a new breed of motivated, energized, trained new policing into Liberia in this new dispensation. And so the way to go is to make sure the police academy is looked at carefully.
What are you proposing? How much do you need if you were projecting certain amount should be placed in the budget for the security?
Right now, consultations have been made with the various security apparatus because we want to be objective. Like I said, with the health, this government funding, we don't want to be overzealous. We want to be
You
objective.
limit your expectation.
Yes, we need to be factual about our demands. So we are now in consultation with all of the security apparatus, sitting with them and looking at the budgets and looking at the needs, and and factoring into the budget. So we will scrutinize their needs, and whatever is feasible and applicable will definitely advance to the national government.
With the infiltration of drugs in Liberia and here on national defense, quite recently, the Director General for the DEA, Colonel A.B. Kroba, was speaking about borders being well protected. Are you thinking in that direction?
Well, the director of the Drugs Enforcement Agency has been doing very well. He has the energy, he has a passion for what he does. But in the next few weeks, we've been doing some research about drugs, how to curtail drugs. He's been doing very well. We intend to have a sit down with him, and so we can look at some other different approaches with what he's doing and additional approaches, because drugs is a very complicated substance to control. If the United States is still suffering with drugs issue, if Europe is still suffering with drugs, what's about Liberia that's a still war and don't have this infrastructure, to curtail drugs? So we will be proposing some. We'll have a sit down with the director and his staff, and we're talking to some experts to come in so we can have some conversation.
Do you see a way forward in terms of the elimination of drugs infiltration in Liberia?
Yes, the president is very keen about that, and he's willing to support that. And with the director general, his own ability, his own passion, we think we can make a lot of impact. Yes, we can make an impact.
What are the arms that you think will have to put all hands on deck to ensure that this use a greater result?
Well, it has to be a collective way. The intelligence sector has to work. In drugs, to curtail drugs, intelligence plays a major role, because it's always advisable to discourage the trafficker from learning rather than managing. Because when the rehabilitation aspect is so expensive, it's better to I would say prevent it rather than get in the country. Our people get a hook and then we have started rehabilitate them. So the intelligence aspect has played a major role. That's why I said we're talking to some other partners around the world. We want to sit with the DEA administrators, not only the director, but all of his line directors that was nominated and confirmed by the Senate, to give them some support in terms of consultancy. We'll have some people coming into the country so we can have some conversation, because I've been very serious with the drugs. I've been very concerned. So as chair of national security, I've been making some contacts around the world, and people are willing, with no cost to Liberian government, to help us fight our drugs. So those arrangements will be made fruitful in the coming weeks, and then we will have a meeting with the authority of the Drugs Enforcement Agency.
What are your action, or what are you thinking about? What are you portraying in the legislature as a senator in terms of some enactments legislatively?
Well, this is just our first quarter. We just got the president just got back. We are looking at a lot of sectors. We're looking at a lot of things. Firstly, and this protem we have been encouraged by the protem the leadership for which I'm a member to look at some of the legislatures that was to have passed in the 54th that wasn't passed. So we are looking at that because you can't put a new bill when you have old bills that stay pending in committee rooms. So first thing, we gotta clean those legislatures or those documents, and then we can start looking at new instruments.
So if they were being cleared today by the Senate, what will you be proposing? What are you aiming at that will leave in that after your tenure as senator of Lofa County, that somebody will say this is what Senator Momo Cyrus preferred him, and it has yielded a lot of results.
So as we speak right now, we cannot hold on to a particular instrument. We are perusing all of the instruments, weigh them and see which one of them is applicable and which one of them is more vital that we can push. So at this point in time, we still doing our research and consultations.
Okay, well, listeners, if you just joined us, you're listening to the Super Morning Show on ELBC 99.9. And my guest this morning is Senator Momo Cyrus of Lofa County. He's the chair on national defense and intelligence at the Senate. Of course, he's my guest this morning. I know you are out there. We have dived into Lofa County politics, and we've talked about several things that unfolding in Lofa County and the priority areas. He's spoken about them. We talk about sports and other things, the roads, agriculture, education, health, and all that, blah, blah, blah. He spoke about them. I guess you followed lengthily and you are out there and want to form part of this discussion. Of course, you now have the time to call on 0880-514-096-077-597-8530. I think this is our first caller on the line. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, my name is T. Patrick Dewey. I will join you this morning from Sokone District 4. Let me say good morning to my senator.
Good morning. Good morning.
Musara, let me first say thanks to you for your hard work. And I listened to the Senate report yesterday, most especially you were greeted as one of the committee chairmen for the best for the next. Just for the past 2 months that you have been in the house there. So I want to say thank you, and I believe in your working because you said it and you believe in helping the youth. But one of the foremost things that I didn't hear you saying was including or calling low Southern. Low is one of the main points where you will find young people. Is one of the sector where it's one of the main districts where young people are well with them. You have like the Esther Bacon School, you have like Zara TPR because a lot of universities or a lot of people come for different towns or countries for school. And the Zara TPR because people go there for training. A lot of just they are now being into that place. In fact, when people go there for teacher training, they carry their materials, they carry food. So I really want you to also include them in the education sector so that Zara TPR can be looked after. So, Mr. Mosaros, I want to say thank you. And thanks to Mala, thanks to the board of our, we'll stand by you and continue going on.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, ELBC.
Good morning. Go ahead.
Morning to Honorable in studio, my senator. I'm Ramsey F. Joseph, and I do join you from District Number 5, Montserrat County. Senior Senator, as also my nephew and big brother, I appreciate you so much. And that is why we told our people to go and stand in the ring, to stand in the sun, to vote you as senator. So by voting you as senator for us in Lofa County, they make us to feel proud. But I have one question for you, sir. That has to be done with the, as a senator on the National Defense Committee in the House of Senate. What are you saying about this war crime code? Because we are not seeing nothing. The House of Representatives have done theirs. So what is your info for that? Because the viewers, we are yamming for it. And yourself know that. See how Lofa County was destroyed by those people who fought the war during the time. So what are you trying to do that? Because you are the chair of that committee.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. 07759785330 0880514096. Senator Cyrus is here. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Honorable Senator.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, my name is Anthony Atlaw Samuel Flomo Jr.
Go ahead.
Let me say many thanks to you for your initiatives, for your love and passion for the people of Lofa. And I think your regime is going to set a different legacy in terms of leadership. I follow your campaign promises, and what I noticed is you are a man of your word. And that's exactly what leadership calls for. You are not there for the money. You are there to serve our people. And you know, Lofa has a very good history of not repeating senators easily. Of recent time, I think you've been following local politics. We sent you there to work for us, and that's exactly what you have started doing. You are setting a good legacy for yourself, for your family, for your children, and for your country. We just pray that God gives you the long life and wisdom to serve our people for the benefit of our country. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
Morning. Please go ahead quickly.
Yes, Melvin, thank you so much. And let me say thanks to the studio guest, Honorable Saros from Lofa County. I want to thank you for his deliberation. But my concern have to do with those people in the security sector that are being called police A, fire service A, immigration A. What are the government doing about those AA officers? That's my concern.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me take it from here. Morning. Morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. Please go ahead.
This is the voice of the Madam Moki and we join from 540. Let me say to our senator, he's very good. Let me say it's a no mistake to making our senator. But equally so, I want to ask the senator what happened in Ghana saying in a seat to the seat.
All right. Thank you. Morning. Good morning. Oh, okay. This person is not ready. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Please lower the volume of the radio and let's speak.
Yeah, good morning, Chief.
Please go ahead.
Good morning.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say good morning to the Honorable General Easton calling from District 17. Was in Lofa and listened to his platform and thank this morning for the regulations on the security sector. But Chief, I have a problem here. We are the Labour National Police, to be honest. We have a serious issues where we graduated since 2020 and there's a protocol set for the police where when you graduate from patrol to PSU, you have some weeks benefit, like $43. And for the past 4 years now, we have now received our race benefit. And those people who just graduated from class 45 and class 46 that was selected to join PSU, they are benefiting. So please, I want you to please use your office and see reasons. Please, we don't want what behavior did for us to do it to put our family, our wife, on the street. Please, we are very much frustrated and we are deep motivated. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll take 3 more. Then the senator will address the concerns. We don't have time. 10 o'clock we go. Morning. Morning.
From rehab.
No. But where are you calling from? You.
I'm calling radio up. I'm calling from ELA Rehab, Monrovia.
Okay, quickly.
Yeah, he's our young brother, and we took our time at admitted, no talking, we pray, we walk over night to make sure that he be elected in the house. Moreover, I think me personally, and ever I always go look for my car or on bike. The young people in the house is visible there. They're still more like almost about 8 feet deep. To find even now your house to go to where I got to get to go. It's very, very deep. It's very bad to use.
the last every vehicle passing in the street then class of 150 300 motor cars somewhere out. Go there, right on our road there. This is what happening. That we understand that informing your body is maybe you're not informed, then you make no effort to listen on our wow, waiting for government to help us.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I take the last person. Morning.
Hello?
Morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead quickly.
Yeah, this is Gifla. I'm calling from Johnsonville. I want to say good morning, my senator.
Good morning.
Yeah, there's one point I just wanted to stress. I love most of the ideas that is being put forward by the senator, and then besides most of the work he's done in the past before even becoming senator, we follow all of the legacy, the scat. But there's a few things I'd like to suggest. Looking at the issue of the health sector, I'm a health professional, but there's something we established in the past here that has to do with
you got to speak. We don't have time. We don't have time. Time is almost out.
The community health program, I was thinking that the senator could have time to look into that issue, especially when we have cases of referral from places like from Buriama or places where you got hard to reach area.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're taking any more calls. We now go to our senator, to speak to the concerns quickly, just on 3 minutes,
Okay.
and he give his parting comments.
Thank you so much. So let's start from bottom to top. I'll give a lot of talk about the health sector. I'm very passionate about the health sector. I will look into that. That community issue is very key. I just spoke about the Konya. Buriama is down from Konya. Even people from Buriama come to Konya. And Konya Health Center was elevated from clinic to health center. So that's that. You remember I talk about the budget of Konya. That will take charge of that. So it's very key. We'll talk about Edward for rehab, talk about the whole infeasible. I've experienced that. We raised that issue with the Ministry of Public Works. Public Works is doing everything possible to fill that place. The next, I think they should be mobilizing now resources and machines and equipment to be in our road soon. So this will be taken care of very soon. The guy this is very key for me. Jamel talk about them graduating and they doesn't have RICS benefit. I will, Jamel, if you can come to me to the Senate and give me detail about this is important because what we want is to prevent crisis in any of these security institutions. So when we have such intelligence like this, where people agree, it's good to dialogue and have it resolved. Because it's expensive for damage control. We saw with the army, right? If there's an agitation for you to quiet down, it's more expensive. So it's better that resolve. So this is very key for me in terms of conflict resolution. And so Jamel, you are invited to my office at a time. Come and talk to me about this. Give me a more detail. I will be able to talk to the police authority and we'll find a solution to this. Because if other people got benefit and other people did not get benefit, we need to ask hard questions why. Okay. Somebody talk about challenges. Yeah, there are a lot of challenges in the house, but let me leave that for now. Yeah, the issue of police aid, 578 is strange to me. So I will have to talk to the police authority to give me an idea what this is about, what we try to benefit from this, what is the motive behind police aid, and 578 is very key. Okay, Anthony Samuel Flomo said, thank you. I just want people to keep praying for me. I will not disappoint Lofa County, but I need prayers. I'm a human being, so I just need prayer and advancement. Whatever I'm doing wrong, let me know. I listen to advancement. So thank you, Samuel, for the commendation. I will return to do my best. Joseph talk about the War Crime Code. So the War Crime Code is taken very seriously by the Senate. In fact, during the opening of our section, our callback, the pro tem re-emphasized this in her speech that the War Crime Code is very key to us. In fact, interestingly, I am one committee. My committee was referred to as one of the committees that's supposed to advise the Senate on the way to go. But we are elders. And we should behave like elders. The lower house sent us a resolution, but we saw some issues that we need to clean up. So right now, the resolution that came from the lower house is being cleaned up, and a better ideas is being proffered. That's what we call the lower house. The upper house. We are the elders. So they send it to us. We see their missteps. We see some things that we need to inject into the document. That's what we're doing now. But the war crime code is very, very key on the protest agenda. And so in the next few weeks, we'll come up with something about that through the pro-tem. So Patrick talked about Zero, TTR, and this and that. Look, all of the educational issues, I was just making reference to the university, local university, because it's the highest academic institution in the county. But the Zero, TTR, the Esther Bacon, the SkinU, all of the learning institutions in Lofa is being looked at critically, because, as I've said, if we educate our people, the dividend is huge.
Sure.
So all of the institutions, I just made mention because of town. I was talking about Lofa University because Lofa University is the highest one. So if we get hold on the Lofa University with a very good staff and good programs and driven properly, then of course these ones will follow suit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Senator. We will have more of the time here. I'm sorry that you came in late, and thank God that we exhausted some major points in just 45 minutes.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm always available to the platform to make sure our people hear our voices and give us the advancement through these methods and means.
Well, he's Senator Momo Cyrus. Senator Momo Cyrus of Lofa County, Chair on National Defense and Intelligence at the Senate. Of course, he's been my final guest on this edition of the Super Morning Show. Thanks ever so much to the people of Lofa and Liberia as a whole for following this conversation. Until tomorrow when the Super Morning Show returns, thanks to Anthony Williams, who has been on camera, alongside Damawa Fofana. My name is Melvin Stewart. Bidding you a very pleasant goodbye from Pinsville. Bye-bye.